Today I'm going back to slow jogging to share what I've learned from digging deeper into the topic, your comments, and also from my own experience of sticking with it for the past 5 months. I'll get into what's happening in your body at that pace, and not just the usual physical stuff like the VO2 max and heart health, but also how it stimulates your brain to produce new neurons. And that's not all. There are 9 things I'm going to talk about, and I bet you're going to be surprised by at least a couple of them. And if you're a beginner, stick around until the very end, because there's going to be a comprehensive list of things to bear in mind as you start. Hi, I'm Pavel, an anthropologist with 0 fitness credentials who got fit after 40, and I'm here to unplug you from the fitness matrix. Number 1. Did you know that our bodies can produce marijuana-like substances? And that slow jogging is the best way to get high on them? Yes! Since I started slow jogging, I felt a curious sense of invincibility, without any change in my objective circumstances. The euphoric feeling got me wondering about the runner's high. These marijuana-like substances are called endocannabinoids! Endocannabinoids! God, I feel like a North Korean anchor.
성공적으로 진행되었다.
And they help regulate various processes, including pleasure and pain. Since their discovery in 1990s, researchers have been looking into what kind of physical activity can boost their production. A 2013 study compared different exercise intensities from low, walking, to high, running. The findings were clear. Walking and running didn't trigger endocannabinoid production at all. And the clear winner was slow jogging, which produced a significant increase, while medium-paced jogging only led to a slight bump. I can confirm this from my own experience. Fast running always left me feeling wiped out, sometimes for days. Slow jogging, on the other hand, leaves me feeling great. I now enjoy that boost in the mood, well-being, and calming the anxiety and pain reduction that the researchers are talking about. I guess the proof of the jogging is in the high. Number 2. VO2 max. Many viewers were skeptical, to put it mildly, about slow jogging's benefits for improving aerobic capacity and overall health. Slow jogging is done at about 50% of your VO2 max, but it does make a difference. While it's not as effective at boosting anaerobic capacity as high-intensity protocols like Tabata, it still raises your VO2 max. Dr. Tanaka mentions in his book that studies show significant improvements. While the exact numbers can be fuzzy, Mark Cucuzzella, a doctor and professor at the West Virginia University School of Medicine, as well as lieutenant colonel in the US Air Force, trains this way. He wrote the introduction to English edition of Tanaka's book and shared that he performed a VO2 max test at the age of 49 at a military facility, recording a remarkable 65, the highest score for any age group there. He does throw in the occasional sprint during his training, but never to the point of fatigue. Point of fatigue, huh? That has a very nice ring to it. But that's too bad. We already went with DSY. I thank Dr. Tanaka for giving me the courage to continue training this way, he says. So, you get a lot of benefits without overdoing it. If you're focused on one specific metric, there may be better options, but for overall improvement with significantly lower risk of injury, slow jogging is an excellent choice. Number 3, the physiological magic. At the nico pace, you're right on the edge of where your heart is working at its most efficient. You are pumping the most blood with each beat, and your body is burning fat like a whale oil machine. Well, more about that later. But you're also just below the point where your body starts to crank out catecholamines. Catecholamines, which are stress hormones. You're deliberately standing below that threshold. You're getting the aerobic benefits without triggering the flight or fight response. You're not just conserving energy, you're avoiding unnecessary strain and stress. Number 4. Slow jogging makes you smarter. By the way, if you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you know how to use that new hype feature, that's something available on videos less than 7 days old, because it will really help with the algorithm. Where were we? Oh yeah, slow jogging makes you smarter. It's almost magical. Professor Hideaki Soya from Tsukuba University ran experiments on rats to study the effect of exercise on the brain. You might wonder how they got rats to run at the Nico Nico pace, and spoiler alert, they did. But let's get to the point. The new neuron formation was the greatest at the Nico Nico pace, significantly outpacing that of the fast runners. Researchers theorize that high intensity demands more willpower, is tiring, and releases stress hormones that diminish those benefits. As a result, new neurons in the hippocampus increased by 70% in the Nico Nico group compared to just 30% for the vigorous runners. Slow joggers are smarter. Now, the next ones fall squarely into the personal experience category. Number 5, knee impact. Oh, by the way, if you feel all warm and fuzzy about this channel, you can support it by buying me a coffee. Link in the description below. Thank you, Mariusz, Samuan, Janet, and Ale for all the caffeine you've sent my way. By now, you've heard me mention many times that I've had problematic knees since my 20s, so I'm always on the lookout to avoid trouble. However, with slow jogging, where the goal is to land on the balls of your feet, there is less impact. I've actually found it to be easier on my knees than walking, which naturally involves heel striking. Slow jogging gives me no issues, or less issues. Number 6. I've noticed that my heart rate has decreased since I started slow jogging. Sometimes my resting heart rate drops down to 57 beats per minute. That's a number I haven't seen in ages. I used to average around 62 to 65 at best. Number 7, duration. I don't do long, drawn-out, slow jogs. The longest I've gone so far was just shy of an hour. This is just one part of my fitness toolbox. Usually, I'll just do a short 10 to 20 minute run to warm up for other exercises like animal movements, horse stance, Tabata, dead hangs, whatever I feel like doing on the day. It's a great way to get loose before a workout and works just as well for recovery when I slow jog my way back home. That's how I use it. You know my favorite Bruce Lee quote, which is, adopt what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. Number 8, meditative aspect. I'm no stranger to pain. I once did a 10-day silent retreat, and I kept up the regular meditation practice afterward. But lately, I haven't been sitting down to meditate as much because I now have slow jogging. I haven't had a proper sit down in weeks, and yet I'm not on the edge like I normally would be. Slow jogging has become the new me time, a moving mindfulness where I can leisurely tune into my body and the world around me. So, leave your phone behind, or at least put it in the flight mode. Or, if you like me, bring along an old clunker just to jot down ideas, because trust me, they will come. As I jog, I often feel a little sorry for the fast runners whizzing by with pained expressions on their faces. They really don't know what they're missing out on. Number 9. The psychological magic of Nico Nico pace. When you smile while running, you might be surprised by how the world smiles back. I made it a point to grin through my Nico Nico runs, and next thing I knew, people were smiling and waving at me. Maybe it's because I'm a foreigner, or they think I'm some village idiot for running barefoot with a smile. But hey, I choose to believe that it's just goodwill. Now let's talk about perceptions and how much what you think matters. For everyone out there saying slow jogging isn't enough to improve this or that, I've got a study with some pretty amusing results for you. A Harvard psychologist, Ellen Langer, and her team conducted an experiment on hotel maids. People who spend their days hauling heavy equipment and engaging in all sorts of physical activity. Yet, their bodies didn't show the benefits of all that work. Why? Because they didn't believe what they were doing counted as exercise. Langer's team measured their body fat, waist to hip ratio, blood pressure, weight, and BMI, and found that these indicators matched the maid's perceived amount of exercise, not the actual amount. So, the researchers explained to one group of maids how many calories they were burning, showing them that they were, in fact, meeting the Surgeon General's definition of an active lifestyle. The control group was told nothing. 1 month later, the results were striking. The educated group had lost weight, reduced their waist-to-hip ratio, and dropped their blood pressure by 10%, all just by believing that their work was exercise. So back to slow jogging now. Not only does it work brilliantly in all the ways I've discussed, but it's going to work twice as well if you actually believe in it. Man, science is a bitch. Now a bit of a warning for the beginners. First of all, check out the first video with instructions. Secondly, don't run barefoot like me, unless you're a pro and you know what you're doing. Remember the DSY principle and take it slow. Don't injure yourself. One of my viewers put it all together really well in a comment, the gist of which is that your whole body, heart, muscles, joints, and tendons have to get used to the new loads. I put it up as a community post. Be sure to check it out. Well, have you tried slow jogging yet? What has your experience been like? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. Well, that's it from me today. Feel free to share it with anyone you'd also like to see disconnected from the fitness matrix. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye.